Do you know what separates the people who rise from the people who remain stuck? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not who their parents were or how much money they started with. It's this. Every single day, they choose to educate themselves. They feed their minds with knowledge. They sharpen their perspective. They refuse to stay the same. Because the truth is simply, if you're not learning, you're not living. Do you know what separates the unstoppable from the ordinary? It's not where they were born. It's not the money they started with. It's not even raw talent. It's what they chose to feed their minds with. Knowledge. Every single day, they sought wisdom, studied relentlessly, and made it their mission to expand their perspective. Because here's the truth. Knowledge is the only weapon that multiplies in power the more you use it. Unlike material possessions that fade, unlike status that can vanish, unlike people who may walk away, what you know, what you understand, what you master, stays with you forever. It is the invisible armor that protects you, the invisible engine that drives you, and the invisible magnet that pulls opportunities toward you. Think about it. Money can be stolen. Positions can be taken. Relationships can be broken. But nobody, absolutely nobody, can strip away the knowledge you've worked to earn. Once you learn something, it becomes a part of you. It shifts how you think. It changes the way you solve problems. It equips you to see what others can't see and to act when others freeze. Knowledge doesn't just sit in your brain. It shapes how you approach life itself. And in a world that constantly shifts, in a reality that keeps evolving, those who know more, those who understand deeper, those who learn faster, always rise above those who don't. Let me be clear. Knowledge is not about memorizing facts or collecting degrees. Knowledge is power because of how it transforms your ability to adapt. Life will throw storms at you. Plans will collapse. The unexpected will test you. But the person who has studied, who has learned, who has trained their mind to handle the unknown, always has an advantage. While others panic, you calculate. While others quit, you innovate. While others look for someone to save them, you rely on the arsenal of wisdom you've been building in silence. That is what makes knowledge your greatest weapon. It prepares you for battles you haven't even seen yet. And here's the thing, knowledge compounds. One book, one idea, one lesson may seem small in the moment, but layer it day after day, year after year, and it becomes unstoppable. It's like planting seeds. A single seed may not look like much, but over time it grows into a tree, and that tree bears fruit for a lifetime. The same happens with your mind. You may think you're just reading an article, watching a lecture, practicing a skill, but those small acts stack into something massive. Suddenly, you're not just surviving, you're leading. You're not just following, you're creating. You're not just existing, you're thriving. That's the return on investing in knowledge, exponential growth. Look at every trailblazer, every visionary, every leader who left a mark on the world. They weren't the ones who stayed comfortable with what they already knew. They were the ones who never stopped learning. They treated knowledge like oxygen, essential, non-negotiable, life-giving. That's why their ideas broke barriers, why their voices carried weight, why their presence commanded respect. People may admire your confidence, they may applaud your charisma, but deep down what they respect most is the wisdom you bring to the table. And wisdom doesn't come from wishful thinking. It comes from educating yourself relentlessly, with hunger, with fire, with an unshakable commitment to never stay the same. If you want to build an unbreakable life, if you want to rise beyond the limits that hold most people down, you need to understand this truth. Knowledge is the currency that never loses value. It pays dividends forever. It opens doors that money can't buy. It builds credibility that fake confidence can't replicate. It gives you a power that no external force can control. So stop underestimating the value of learning. Stop treating education like a phase that ends after school. Make it your lifelong commitment. Feed your mind as if your future depends on it, because it does. Remember this: knowledge is your greatest weapon. Carry it, sharpen it, and use it. Because with knowledge in your hands, you are never powerless, never law-trapped. You are prepared. You are equipped. You are unstoppable. Most people want growth, but they also want comfort. They want transformation without disruption. They want success without sacrifice. They want to climb mountains, but never leave the safety of flat ground. But life doesn't work that way. Growth and comfort cannot exist in the same space. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. If you're growing, you're not comfortable. That tension you feel when you're challenged, when you're pushed, when you're stretched, that's the birthplace of transformation. Without it, you remain stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same results, living the same life year after year. Think about the strongest muscles in the human body. They only grow when they're pushed beyond their limits. The process itself is painful. Tiny tears form in the fibers. But those tears are necessary because they rebuild stronger than before. Your mind works the same way. The struggles, the failures, the obstacles, they're not punishments. They're training. They're the resistance that forces you to expand. And the very discomfort you run from is the discomfort that would have made you unshakable. When you avoid challenge, you avoid growth. But when you embrace it, you discover power you didn't even know you had. Comfort is seductive. It whispers that you're fine where you are, that you've done enough, that you don't need to risk more. It disguises itself as safety, but in reality, it's a cage. People stay in jobs they hate because it feels secure. They stay in relationships that drain them because it feels familiar. They refuse to try new things because failure feels frightening. But the truth is, comfort is not safety, it's slow death. It keeps you locked in mediocrity while your potential rots unused. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you shrink. Every time you choose discomfort over stagnation, you rise. And here's the irony. What feels uncomfortable at first eventually becomes your new comfort zone. The first time you speak up, it's terrifying. The 10th time, it's natural. The first time you work out, it's painful. The 100th time, it's effortless. Growth requires you to keep stepping into new discomforts over and over until what once scared you becomes part of who you are. That's why The most successful people don't chase comfort. They chase challenge. They seek environments that demand more of them. They understand that growth isn't something you achieve once. It's a lifestyle of constantly expanding beyond what feels easy. This is why educating yourself every day matters. Knowledge alone isn't enough. You have to put it into action, and that action will often feel uncomfortable. Reading the book is easy. Applying the lesson is uncomfortable. Listening to advice is easy. Taking the risk is uncomfortable. But that discomfort is the proof you're growing. Each time you confront fear, each time you push through resistance, each time you walk into the unknown, you're building a new version of yourself. And that version will always be stronger, wiser, more capable than the one that came before. So the question is this: are you willing to endure the discomfort that comes with growth? Or will you settle for the illusion of safety that comes with comfort? Because the truth is, the pain of growth is temporary, but the regret of stagnation lasts forever. Every successful person you admire has chosen discomfort. They've failed, stumbled, been criticized, doubted, and stretched to their limits, but they kept going. And that's why they rose. That's why they lead. That's why they inspire. Growth never comes wrapped in comfort. It comes wrapped in challenge, sacrifice, and persistence. Remember this: comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you want to rise, you must be willing to step into discomfort again and again. Because the moment you choose growth over comfort, you choose transformation over stagnation, power over fear, and the life you were meant to live over the one you were settling for. Who you are today is a reflection of what you've been feeding your mind. Every thought you carry, every belief you hold, every decision you make is shaped by the information you've consumed over time. What you allow in becomes what comes out. Your conversations, your actions, your habits, all of them are echoes of the content you've absorbed. This is why some people move through life with clarity, confidence, and vision, while others remain lost, distracted, and uncertain. It's not fate. It's not chance. It's information. The mind is a mirror, and it reflects what you place before it. If you spend your days drowning in gossip, negativity, and meaningless distractions, your identity will reflect exactly that. You'll carry doubt, insecurity, and a lack of direction, because that's the energy you've been consuming. But if you choose to immerse yourself in knowledge, wisdom, and empowering ideas, you reshape your very being. The books you read, the voices you listen to, the conversations you allow, they become the architecture of your mind. Over time, they sculpt how you see yourself and how the world sees you. Information doesn't just influence you temporarily. It rewires who you are. Look around at the people you admire, the ones who command respect, the ones who seem unshakable. They didn't just stumble into that presence. They built it. And they built it by carefully curating what entered their minds. They refused to feed on junk information. They refused to let their identities be polluted by negativity. Instead, they armed themselves with knowledge that elevated them. They invested in mentors, in powerful ideas, in experiences that challenged their perspective. And because they consumed at a higher level, They became people who live at a higher level. Your identity is not fixed. It's fluid. It changes with the quality of information you feed it. If you want to become stronger, start consuming information that teaches resilience. If you want to become more confident, fill your mind with stories and strategies of those who built unshakable belief. If you want to lead, study leadership until it becomes second nature. This is why educating yourself daily matters so deeply, because every new lesson is not just knowledge gained, it's identity upgraded. Each idea is a brick, and those bricks are building the foundation of the person you are becoming. But here's the danger most people consume unconsciously. They scroll endlessly, absorb negativity, and accept toxic influences without realizing the damage being done. It's like feeding your body poison and wondering why you're sick. The mind works the same way. Bad information creates a weak identity. It leaves you vulnerable, confused, and easily influenced by others. But the moment you take control, when you become intentional about what you let in, you take back your power. You start shaping yourself instead of being shaped by noise. So ask yourself, what information are you feeding your mind today? Is it lifting you higher or dragging you lower? Is it shaping you into the person you want to become, or locking you into the person you've always been? Because every podcast, every book, every conversation, every video, it all adds up. And the truth is simple: the information you consume will become the identity you live. Remember this. Information is not just data, it's destiny. What you choose to feed your mind will define who you are, how you think, how you act, and ultimately, how you live. Guard it fiercely. Choose it wisely. Because the right information will not just change what you know, it will change who you are. Inspiration is easy. Anyone can wake up one morning, feel motivated, and promise themselves they'll change. But the world isn't changed by people who get inspired for a day. It's changed by people who show up every single day, whether they feel like it or not. That is the essence of discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and transformation. And when it comes to education, discipline is what separates those who dabble from those who dominate. Knowledge doesn't just come from random bursts of learning. It comes from a consistent commitment to feed your mind daily. Think of it like training a muscle. If you go to the gym once, you won't see results. Even if you train intensely for a week, the progress fades if you stop showing up. But if you go consistently, even for short periods, your body changes. The same principle applies to your mind. Reading for 10 minutes a day, studying one new skill, or listening to something that expands your perspective may seem small, but over weeks, months, years, it compounds. Daily discipline builds mental strength, the way daily training builds physical strength. Discipline also destroys excuses. Most people say they don't have time, but the truth is, time is never the issue. It's discipline. You have time to scroll. You have time to binge. You have time to waste. The difference is whether you have the discipline to use that time to grow. Successful people are not more gifted, they're more consistent. They replace excuses with habits. They carve out minutes, and those minutes transform their future. Discipline is not glamorous, but it's the foundation of greatness. And here's something powerful: discipline creates freedom. At first, it feels restrictive to push yourself daily, to hold yourself accountable, to commit even when it's inconvenient. But over time, that discipline sets you free. Free from fear, because you've built confidence. Free from dependence, because you've built skill. Free from regret, because you've invested in yourself. Every act of disciplined education gives you more control over your destiny. Without discipline, you're a prisoner of chance. With discipline, you're the architect of your future. Discipline also builds momentum. The more you show up, the easier it gets to keep going. It becomes part of your identity. At first, you have to force yourself to read the page, watch the lecture, or practice the skill. But soon, it becomes who you are. The type of person who learns, grows, and refuses to stay stagnant. That's the power of daily education. It doesn't just fill your mind with information. It rewires your habits, reshapes your self-image, and redefines your limits. What begins as discipline eventually transforms into destiny. So understand this: success doesn't belong to the most talented, it belongs to the most disciplined. Those who commit every single day without exception. The ones who learn even when tired, who grow even when it's hard, who invest in themselves when nobody is watching. Daily education is not about convenience. It's about consistency. Not about doing it when it's easy, but doing it until it becomes inevitable. And if you build that discipline, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. Remember this: discipline is the foundation of greatness. Educating yourself every day is not optional if you want to rise, it is mandatory. Show up, commit, repeat, because the mind you build with discipline will create the life you've been dreaming of. Confidence is not something you are born with. It's something you build. Most people think confidence comes from personality, appearance, or luck. But real, unshakable confidence has nothing to do with pretending and everything to do with preparation. And preparation comes from knowledge. The more you know, the more certain you feel. The more certain you feel, the more powerfully you act. Confidence is not about faking it until you make it. Confidence is about learning until you own it. Think about the times you've doubted yourself. The hesitation, the fear, the voice in your head whispering that you're not ready. That feeling doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes from knowing deep inside that you haven't done the work, that you haven't built the foundation. But when you've studied, when you've practiced, when you've fed your mind relentlessly, the doubt begins to vanish. Because you know you are prepared. Knowledge is the fuel that silences fear and gives rise to certainty. Confidence also changes how the world perceives you. People can sense when you walk into a room unprepared. They can see the hesitation in your eyes, hear the uncertainty in your voice, and feel the weakness in your presence. But when you've educated yourself, when you've put in the hours of work, you carry yourself differently. You stand taller, you speak with authority, and you move with conviction. And people don't just hear you, they believe you. That is the invisible power that knowledge gives you. The ability to command attention without even asking for it. But confidence is not built overnight. It's built brick by brick, through consistent education and practice. The more you learn, the more tools you add to your arsenal. Each lesson becomes a piece of armor, each skill a weapon, each new insight another reason to trust yourself. Over time, those pieces form an identity rooted in strength. You stop questioning if you can handle challenges because you've already prepared for them. You stop second guessing opportunities because you know you're ready. Confidence becomes second nature because you've earned it. Education also builds resilience. True confidence isn't about never failing. It's about knowing you can recover, adapt, and rise again. And that belief comes from knowledge. When you've studied enough, when you've learned enough, you understand that failure is never final. It's simply feedback. Knowledge allows you to analyze mistakes, extract lessons, and move forward stronger than before. Without education, failure feels like the end. With education, failure feels like the beginning of a new strategy. That shift in mindset is the foundation of lasting confidence. So stop waiting for confidence to magically appear. Stop pretending and start preparing. The more you feed your mind, the more you grow, the more you expand your skills, the more unshakable your confidence will become. Knowledge is not just information. It is empowerment. It gives you the certainty to speak up, the courage to take risks, and the strength to face challenges head-on. Confidence doesn't come from luck. It comes from learning. And when you commit to educating yourself daily, you will never have to fake confidence again, because you'll live it. Remember this: confidence is not pretending, it's preparation. Education builds the foundation for courage, strength, and belief. When you know more, you fear less. And when you fear less, you become unstoppable. The world is moving faster than ever before. Technology is evolving, industries are transforming, opportunities are shifting at lightning speed. What was valuable yesterday may be irrelevant tomorrow. And in this reality, the people who rise are not the ones who learned something once and decided it was enough. The people who rise are the ones who treat education as a lifelong pursuit. They never graduate from growth. They never outgrow learning. They understand that the moment you stop learning, you start falling behind. Look at the most successful leaders, creators, and innovators. They are students first, always. They don't assume they know everything. They don't cling to old knowledge while the world evolves around them. Instead, they adapt, they evolve. They update their minds just as often as they update their goals. That is why they stay relevant. That is why they continue to lead while others fade into the background. They have built their success on a simple truth: learning is not a phase of life. It is the foundation of life. The danger is that most people stop learning once they leave school. They act as if education ends when a diploma is handed out. But real life doesn't hand out diplomas. It hands out challenges. And if you're not equipped with fresh knowledge, if you're not constantly growing, you will be unprepared. You'll get stuck in outdated thinking, trapped in old methods, and left behind by those who kept moving forward. The degree might get you started, but it is lifelong learning that keeps you advancing. And here's the beauty: Those who never stop learning are the ones who never stop earning. Not just financially, but in influence, respect, and opportunity. Every skill you acquire makes you more valuable. Every piece of knowledge you master makes you harder to replace. While others settle, you expand. While others resist change, you embrace it. And the world rewards that hunger. Employers seek it, leaders respect it, and opportunities flow to those who have proven they are students of life itself. But lifelong learning isn't just about career advancement. It's about personal fulfillment. Every time you learn something new, you unlock a new dimension of yourself. You think differently, see differently, live differently. You discover parts of your potential that would have remained hidden had you stopped growing. And that's the tragedy of those who stop learning. They live smaller lives than they were destined for. But for those who remain curious, who remain students, life continues to expand, offering endless ways to grow, contribute, and create impact. So ask yourself, will you settle with what you know now? Or will you commit to learning for the rest of your life? Because this world does not slow down. It will not wait for you to catch up. The future belongs to the learners, the ones who constantly adapt, evolve, and grow. If you want to stay relevant, if you want to stay powerful, if you want to stay ahead, you must never stop learning. Remember this. The world rewards those who never stop learning. Be the student who never graduates, the seeker who never stops searching, the mind that never closes. Because as long as you keep learning, you will keep growing. And as long as you keep growing, the world will keep opening doors for you that others will never even see.